Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. That was a janky heart, wasn't it? Happy Monday, March 18th. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And we're back at it, back to the regularly scheduled program. Although I feel like I feel a great spirit of change blowing through this week. We'll see how it unfolds, but I just feel like things may be taking some unexpected turns, and I would venture to say for the better before anything else this week, and I'm here for it. I'm here for a shift in the most productive and powerful sense. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say, but I guess it wasn't that important. So here we are with the Four of Pentacles to start. That could be someone being quite conservative with their resources, could be holding back information, conserving or reserving your energy, could be concealing something. And the highest frequency is just really about being conservative, which, nothing wrong with that per se. And the lower frequency, sometimes it can be, practically speaking, it could be being cheap or penny pinching. Cheap, more lower vibrational than penny pinching, because, nothing wrong with the budget. It could also be like some embarrassment, like wanting to like almost conceal some information or hide self for the sake of being exploited, or I guess to resist being exploited in some way. So there's that. But you know what? Let's just jump right into it and see what we got here, so that I don't, because last week was a roller coaster. It's like for every crazy message, we had a great message, and vice versa. So let's see what we got here. What energy are we talking about here with this Four of Pentacles? Okay. Damn it, man. And you know what's funny is that, what was calling me to consider is the fact that next, beyond the Four, is the Five of Pentacles, which is one of those lower frequency cards that usually you don't have too much good to say about. But I was trying to resist it, like, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. And when I was shuffling just now, I heard the word embarrassment. So, was it embarrassment, or did I say embarrassment and there was something else? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was what I heard, which was embarrassment. And this definitely kind of doubles down on that frequency with the Five of Cups. Some spirit of guilt, shame, regret, maybe even, well, depression for sure. So it could be that something that somebody wanted to keep concealed or that wouldn't have wanted to be exposed in some way, shape, or form was so, and that this is the result here. The emotional response here is the Five of Cups. And it's like, what's done is done. It's not really much you can do to backtrack, because once whatever it is, the information is released, it's public knowledge. Yeah, so that goes back to this energy of someone wanting to be conservative about their image, about their, maybe about either particularly about information, but it could be about their finances. Oh, okay, so maybe someone didn't want the truth of their financial stability to be public knowledge or exposed. So it could have been somebody that was putting on a facade or just exploiting a certain narrative about their finances, presenting themselves to be particularly affluent or established or even rich or wealthy, let's just say it plainly, and they really weren't, but that got exposed somehow, and they were holding on to that image for dear life, as it looks like with the Four of Pentacles, trying to really promote it publicly as much as possible while also trying to protect the truth of what was really going on behind closed doors. But something has been exposed, or things may have, especially with me thinking about the Five of Pentacles, circumstances may have occurred that just don't lend to discretion anymore. Like somebody could have lost a job, things like a series of events, like lost a job, they're behind on certain payments, i.e. in the Five of Pentacles, those two are walking around the streets, so somebody could have lost their house or their home or is in jeopardy of that. Maybe they got to stay with a friend or move around, and maybe even are on the streets, God forbid. Maybe somebody lost their car because they couldn't keep up with the note. So they walk in, they're taking the bus, and somebody might recognize them, and then the cat's out the bag, and then before you know it, the information is like spreading like wildfire. Or if it hasn't, that's somebody's fear, that on account of the things that they're trying to hold on to, that express a certain level of affluence or wealth or whatever, they're not going to be able to keep up that image anymore. It's like only a matter of time before, the reality is just unavoidable, like you can't hide it anymore. I mean, hell, because if you roaming around the streets, it's one thing when you have a home, even if you got nothing in it, at least you got somewhere to, to hide behind closed doors. If you have a car, even if you're 5 payments behind, hell, nobody knows that but you. If you can still pull up looking like money, if you still have designer things and you're the best looking thing at the party, hell, you can play the part that maybe you still got it like that, or you rolling like that. But when all of that's, all the material things that someone is holding on to or has held on to project a certain identity fall away, it's an embarrassing moment for them. This is the response, the guilt, more so shame. I mean, there could be some reason for guilt here too, but it's more so shame, embarrassment, and yeah, and maybe even some regret. Because when we talk about spilled milk, it's like shoulda, woulda, couldas, like wishing they had done something differently, either to maintain their resources or their material wealth, or wishing maybe they had not done something. Who knows? But they know, I guess. They just don't want everybody else to know. Oh, man. Yep. Damn, exposure. Yeah, worried about who's looking and who sees what, and what the sun is going to shine upon. Like I said, there'll be no way to really get around the truth, to evade the obvious. Like, the sun ain't telling no lies, you know? So this is afraid of either someone, and this could even be someone that is a threat of exposure, is what I'm hearing, because that's what I'm getting with this Page of Swords. Maybe someone, man, someone was privy to information that, because maybe this person would fly under the radar if not for these eyes right here that are like almost private eye type of energy. Somebody that knows what's up, or it just could be a close friend or somebody close to their situation that has privileged information that they want. Ooh, I just got something. Somebody tried to, either someone was being, or is being, whichever tense this is, someone is being blackmailed to spill the beans, you know, like a pay me or else, or someone was paying someone to conceal the beans, and now it's like they don't really have it to continue to keep this energy quiet. And so it's only a matter of time, one way or another, because if you can't keep the money flowing through this pipeline, eventually the pipe is going to burst, is what is given. And somebody is just going to, just as naked as this baby is, somebody is, I would say probably just eager. That's what I'm feeling, like somebody was eager to hold all of the intel, but even more eager, like they just waiting on their moment to be able to share it. It's given the energy of someone that would take pleasure in blackmailing somebody on the front end because it's a value for them. Like, well, I'm gonna get all that I can out of the situation until, you know, squeeze somebody dry, literally, so I can't get no more. But they still gonna tell, because that's the type of energy they are. So it's like they're getting money on the front end, but they're still gonna get their satisfaction, or at least their ideal satisfaction on the back end, when they tell and expose everything anyway. You know, so it's like really this person paid into nothing, because they could have just like come clean themselves, or just let the chips fall as they may, because this person was going to slime them anyway, so they could have saved their money. That's so grimy. Let's see what else we got. Let's go back here. Let me get one before the Five of Cups. Oh, giving me two. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. It's somebody's pleasure, honey, to spill this tea, whatever it is. They can't wait. And this is the energy that somebody knows it too. Somebody knows that whomever that is the keeper of these secrets is not to be trusted. And that's what the anxiety is here in the Nine of Swords. Just kind of like anticipating, waiting for that shoe to drop. They know it's coming, they just don't know when or how. You know, can you imagine? They don't know if somebody, how it's going to be exposed. Is it going to be on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, maybe all three? Is it going to be just word around town? That's an even slower burn. You know, like, how is it, or God forbid, it's something legal here, because this Nine of Swords can sometimes give me incarceration vibes as well, that somebody would share some information that could get them into some legal trouble. Damn, all of that. And then we got the Hermit card here. Yeah, this is something. Oh man, this person. Damn, why we had to start like this on Monday? Oh, this person don't even want to come outside. They hiding. They barely want to get out of bed. Oh man, somebody's in the throes of it. Like, they're so racked with anxiety and fear and depression. It's like, who knows which one is seizing their spirit more at this point, because beyond the anxiety of the when and how and where and who, there is the fear of the then what happens after that, what repercussions there may be, or response that there may be, or what people will have to say about them, and which is also here about this protecting appearances thing with the Four of Pentacles. It's given the energy of somebody that cared too much of what other people think of them, and so that's what really caught their foot in this entanglement, because they were willing to pay for their appearance sake when they probably would have done better just betting on their own truth and letting that be what it is, because it's going to, and maybe even taking control over the narrative. Honestly, though, because now it's left into someone else's hands, and this is someone that don't mind spending the story for entertainment purposes or for whatever the gratification may be. They're gonna sell it. So this person is like, I mean, this is somebody that's barely getting out of bed. They may be hardly eating. God forbid they're drinking as their only real nourishment, trying to numb their senses to the possibilities, doing everything but going within truly to follow their instincts, because if they were, there would be some relieving qualities within this frequency here. It wouldn't be like this cycle of scarcity, where maybe somebody gets up, but then they start thinking about it again, so they start drinking, and they drink themselves into oblivion. Then they pass out, and they get really sad, and then it dredges up all types of other emotions, and they're not taking care of themselves. They're not eating. They're not probably even bathing properly. Like, they're just stewing in, wallowing in their self-pity is what is given. They don't want to see nobody. They don't want to go outside. They probably don't even want to see social media. Don't want to watch nothing. Like, man. Oh man, that's wild. Let's go over to the Sun. Where did I go after that? I think I went down, didn't I? I can't remember. I think I went here first. I don't remember. Damn it. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Is this an emperor? Someone that once held a high position of authority or was highly revered. Could be a father figure or someone that has kids. There's a baby in this card. Maybe that's some energy they don't want to be released. I got a feeling it's a whole hell of a lot of stuff, especially with the Nine of Swords. It's a lot of gossip. A lot of information that somebody does not want to be public knowledge. And the Emperor, it's about identity, because that is Aries energy. About who someone really is, or either how they may have taken advantage of a position or mismanaged their authority in a position of power, or just like there being a persona of someone some leader or public figure of sorts in one regard, and now, well, it makes sense as to everything that we've been saying. This is someone upholding this identity of power and wealth and prestige and creativity and, BDE. But in real life, they're trying to hold on to everything they got for dear life. So this is like some exposure, and will make a great blemish on someone's prosperity, because it's given that somebody stakes their livelihood on this perception of power. This image is what pays the bills, or at least, what garnered a great deal of financial return, or maybe access. Someone that presents themselves to have a great sense of, a great authority or reach or influence. And so that's like their energetic currency, more or less. But if somebody gets exposed to the point where, just primitively speaking, is like, nah, they really don't know that many people, or they don't have the ends to whatever, like access to whatever establishment, group of people, you name it. I don't know what people be fighting over these days. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's hard to even really speak to, because it's so foreign for me, but the things that make people feel relevant and important, and particularly societally sacred associations. That's what someone was fighting for. That's what someone is fighting for. That's what someone is devastated to lose in some way, shape, or form. Let's see, let's get another one here. So, not just, like this is the Star, which would be that access or that notoriety. It may be someone that is a celebrity that's afraid to be separated from their star power. Yeah, this is all the things that somebody is afraid. They're holding on to all of this. This is what's at stake, what's at risk here. Their idea of bliss and prosperity, celebrity status and clout, power, prestige, influence, access. It's like, damn. And it's all seeming to be in the power of one person or within, I don't know if it's necessarily one person, but definitely the spread of the word, I almost said the gospel, not the gospel, the gossip is what they're worried about. So even if it's not the threat, as I spoke about, with somebody physically kind of like blackmailing or holding some information over their head, which I feel there's that here. Because this Page of Swords, you know, is eager to swing at any moment. Even if it's just the threat of it, at this point, it's enough to kind of drain this energy dry. It's like they don't have any more, like they're literally holding on for dear life. And maybe someone is really finally coming to the point of weighing what's important here, to continue to try to hold on to this ideal of identity, which is a stress, or to release it altogether and risk losing the facade altogether, which would make a great impact, but it would also create some relief as well, I would say, at some point. Somebody knows that much is true, but they're just having a hard time surrendering to that reality. It's like somebody's way too fixated on, then what happens next, or what about this, holding on to material things. That's the energy that draws people into trouble in the first place, to sacrifice themselves for this sense of security that usually is either false or fleeting, but it's also been the thing that someone has used to measure themselves by as well. And so now to kind of like lose all of that, it just seems like seems all too devastating for somebody. Like, where do I go from there if I don't have my car, my house, my clout, circles of celebrities to run around in or call or access, or money in the bank, and be able to go to the finest restaurants, take a trip on a moment's notice, charter a private jet, fly coach? What? Who, me? I couldn't possibly have to buy an older model car, because you lost your luxury car, to have to rent an apartment because you can't afford the mortgage on the mansion. It's like somebody's worrying about the appearance of wealth instead of true wealth, which is their health. And there is already depreciated greatly just in trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be the Joneses in this regard. Somebody's like forsaken the true value of these energies, upright as they are. Like I said, true prosperity, health, wellness, fertility, your energy being high frequency enough that you can manifest anything. Unlimited ideas and possibilities that somebody, maybe is being reset to actually follow, which is why this Hermit card is here, to go within, to actually realign themselves with their destiny, to follow that North Star, that this could all even be a part of it, just setting them back on the right, back on the path more certainly, to lead to true sovereignty with the Emperor card, self-control, control of your destiny, your prosperity, your wellness. Yeah, like really taking control over their life and not letting things control them. To just completely snatch back their nuts, more or less, from this energy here with the Page of Swords, and just be like, man, do what you gonna do then. I ain't paying another dime, if they got another dime to even pay, or to just not give a damn what people know and what people have to say about what they know, what they don't know, because most of the time people don't know shit, even if they think they do, and just focus that energy on being your best, not just looking the part. Oh God, what's the point here? I mean, I'm here for the Hallmark moment, but it's kind of like, all right. like this is definitely infringing upon where I am right now. This is new contracts, new agreements, fresh agreements. Realigning yourself with people, places, and things that matter and that are on the same page. That's what somebody's being called to the awareness of. That there's more in store than what they may stand to lose. Damn, I'm saying this universally now. As always, it always comes through that way. Like, it seems like one man's story, but it's also speaking to the empire that we know of, that we all know and love, fighting to maintain relevance and control and holding on to every morsel of, relevance it possibly can to obtain, to maintain this posture of power over individuals who are, exploding in their own sovereign spirit, their own sovereign right. Yeah. And instead of seeing the way that new relationships can be, new understandings, new contracts, new co-creations can be merged here. This is the determining the line of demarcation of sorts. Like, they're still wallowing in the self-pity of a loss of power, and it's really projecting itself. This is the true essence, but it also is projecting itself in this energy here, where they're still willing to give every single morsel of energy they possibly can toward maintaining a frequency of a certain foundation, and not allowing it to rise any higher if they can help it. But it's becoming out of control to the point of this being spoken of in a more personal sense, that it can't really be contained anymore, even holding the truth back from people as to who they are, what they're capable of, what they're deserving of, the power that they truly possess. It's becoming more and more impossible to withhold that truth. And what's going to happen is that if there is not a submission to that shift that's inevitably occurring, there will be missed opportunities to forge new partnerships, new deals, for energy such as this to find a place in a co-creative space, because they more or less have overplayed their hand, and they've mismanaged their investments to the point of depletion. Like, now you have nothing to leverage anymore. You have no capital. There is no deal, because you presented yourself to be untrustworthy and unwilling to conform in a more honest way. So why would energies that are awakening to their own sovereignty and, prosperous within their own rights, why would there be a need or a desire to forge any connection with untrustworthy forces? It's like, been there, done that. You've proven yourself. You've showed your hand. And the thing that's missing, the huge misunderstanding is how open and willing certain energies are to be co-creative. That's what's being missed. I think it's because the energies, like on this side of the spectrum, are only seeing things through the scope of what it looks like when you hold a certain leverage of power and you wield it over people, places, and things unfairly. But everybody doesn't operate that way. This is the sun and the star here, and the emperor, who knows how to control self before imposing any, matter of control or dominance over others in the upright. This is balanced life force over here. So whereas this is like the anxiety of feeling like they're going to receive the same treatment that they were so willing to offer, so therefore there's like this energy of like damage control to keep the evolution from occurring, for fear that they're going to be the ones under universal thumb now. But that wasn't absolute and that wasn't guaranteed. But what I'm saying is the buildup, the incessant infliction is what is mounting, that karmic retribution even higher, not by way of the individuals, energies, or entities themselves. It's just universal balance at this point, where people had plenty of time, like I said, to take control over the narrative, to change it and do something different, shift. That would have created more of a balance overall. But universally, all things will be harmonized. And so it's like the longer energies try to hold back, resist, I don't even know, really it's the resistance that's the biggest crime. Resisting universal evolution in a very inorganic way is the problem, because now you're going against divine ordinance of what just should be happening naturally. And for very selfish and self-gratifying motivations, which has massive effects on everybody. It's not even just on for the purposes of the influence that it's inflicted upon. It's overall on the globe, on creation, even on themselves, unbeknownst to them, you know? So it's like nobody's winning that way. But if there could be a surrender, some going within, some healing, perhaps, change of perspective, submission to truth, everybody could live happily ever after. You know, like, seriously, everybody could. That's not a fairy tale thing. Like, that's an actual practical possibility. And as I said, it may take some balancing of the acts that have already occurred, but certainly to continue to persist in that regard, part of me is not going to make it less so, is making it worse. There are certain things that are guaranteed no matter what, no matter how long it takes to get there. The universe will have its way, and anybody that stands in the way has hell to pay. So it's not going to stop what's already been ordained, but it will definitely put a huge stain on the experience of those that would have had just as much of a privilege of unlimited possibilities as anybody else. And of course, this is not limited to culture, race, color, religion. It's none of that. It's about the spirit. Those that are surrendered to freedom for all, above all, and those that are submitted to limitations for everyone else but themselves. That's the only disparity between these energies here. And you can be black, white, rich, poor, gay, straight, from the United States or from China. It's really a this or that. Let me get one here and then one over here, just to round it out. Oh, of course, I had a feeling. Oh, that's way too many, y'all, but I'll take a look at it. Let's see. I ain't asked for, oh, Lord. Oh, okay, well, I got 2 and 2, so we could split those up then. I'll split them up. Let's do this here. These are those long-term investments that are being made over and over again and wondering why it's still getting the same results or even less than what was anticipated. Here's the Queen of Cups. And this is the energy that's been suppressed and depressed at the bottom of the barrel, is this Queen of Cups, which would be the submission to emotional wellness and well-being. Like people listening to their intuition, their softer side, masculine or feminine, their more sensitive side, the part of them that is what do you call it? Sympathetic and empathetic. And even just their emotional intelligence that's been speaking loud and clear as to what's worth continuing to invest in energetically and what's not, with the evidence to prove it to be so, but certainly the intel and the foresight even as to what this sowing will yield eventually or not yield. This is, again, the energy of people just like completely suppressing that frequency within themselves and answering to this call of material security over spiritual well-being. It's like, forget what the spirit is saying. No. Like, I need to do more. I need to make more. I need to have more. And however I need to do that, don't take no account as to how it makes you feel to do certain things or to be around certain people or to act in a certain way or to be associated with certain things. Like, just push that down, suppress that as low as possible to the point where you don't even feel it no more. Drink yourself numb, why don't you? So you don't even have to feel those feelings. Regret, shame, remorse, like, we don't need to feel any of that. It's just, let these designer brands be my emotions, be my satisfaction, until there's none of that left. And then all of those feelings come bubbling back up to the surface, and you remember exactly why. Now it all comes back to you as to why you should have listened to your intuition, to that gut feeling all along. Now when you don't have the fabrications, what do you call it? Like the superficial things to hold on to latch on to make you feel like somebody, and remind you if you even start to feel bad for a second about what you're doing, or look in your closet, that'll give you 10,000 reasons why you should just get over it and keep doing what you're doing, or whatever the sensation was, whether it was power, clout, money, success, all of the above. It was fleeting and it was faulty. It is fleeting and it is faulty if it's not built on the foundation of a secure spirit. The Empress over here, and the Ace of Pentacles is the reward that you get when your spirit, when you have all this down, being able to, when you're healed and, answering to your destiny in the most sincere way possible. It doesn't mean you're doing everything right. It doesn't mean that you haven't had some roadblocks or some detours along the way, but that you always are looking to reroute toward that destination of spiritual and energetic, if you can't subscribe to spiritual, but energetic affluence. That matters first. How I feel doing things, how do I feel looking at myself in the mirror every day? How do I feel in terms of my impact and value out in my home or in my family or in my community or at my job, or in whatever way you look to make a difference, or that you actually do even when you're not trying to. Are you pleased with that result? Is the result pleasing to you? Do you have physical and energetic receipts that you're living in the light as much as possible? Self-control, fertility in spirit and in truth. You feel at liberty to create productive things. And this is masculine and feminine here, so it's no excuse. It's definitely not gender bias in this reading, in the way that I'm reading it universally. And here is the reward that does become quite tangible, but it has to first be on account of this spiritual conception. Anything else is like, it's like faulty from the start. Because this pentacle is not beholden to societal norms or standards, measures of success, the marketplace, you know, even leadership. It's like having the enterprise that is recession proof, quarantine proof, you know, like it serves a wide range of customers, you know. It's like universal, something that everybody needs to some degree, and maybe not everybody on the largest scale, but to those that seek it and that are in the market for it, it's full service. And that being you, first and foremost, like when you're cultivating your personal identity in a very organic way, you don't have to worry about what gets exposed or to whom and how and where and all that other stuff. Like, you know that your brand is authentic and it's unmatched. And those that connect to it and see value in it will be customers for life, you know, and those that don't, won't. And that's okay with you too. You're not going to try to do anything particular to finesse those customers, you know, to persuade those customers to buy in by shifting, being this way for one market and this way for another. And, you know, it's like, you know who you serve, you know what you serve, and you reinvent yourself as divine timing calls for you to do so, but always in alignment with the authenticity of your what do they call it, like your mission. Literally, like, you know how you have like a mission statement for your company, in your business plan. It's like always adhering to, if it doesn't fit within that mission statement, it doesn't work. And this is the energy of having a very highly established mission in life, high ethical and moral standards for self. This is the energy of adjusting the mission for whatever customer you're looking to finesse in the moment. It's more so about the bottom line than it is the integrity of the business itself or the brand itself. So yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about here? Here's the King of Pentacles, high value man on the board, someone that knows their worth, that's productive in their investments, that knows everything that I spoke of. We already know what the King of Pentacles is about. He knows what to be an investment, knows how to invest his money, how to make his money work for him, when to be proactive, when to be passive, what opportunities to say no thank you to, and what to jump on, when to sell his stocks and when to buy in, what's the wave of the market. But still, it's with a good businessman, as the King of Pentacles is, they still are stringent on their own personal brand personally branded guidelines. A good one is. Otherwise, like I said, it's just somebody that they all over the place. They chasing every dollar, and 9 times out of 10, you'll lose a lot more than you gain that way. So this is somebody that's true to himself. He knows a good investment when he sees it. He knows that he is a good investment as he is. And, you know, is very selective with how he shares his resources, as him being the hot commodity. Yeah. And then we got the 9 of Wands. This is that wounded warrior energy, which is just giving somebody that is literally like a this or that. I'm going to put this over here, right? Because it's like this guy who feels regretful about the actions that he took, as I said earlier. And this one who feels confident and secure with his decision making because he has a proven track record of success, and he has the wisdom of truth to be able to trust his impulses, or his not so much his impulses, but his nudges of to know when it's time to invest or time to draw back, as I said before. This is somebody that don't trust nothing and no one, including themselves, because like I was saying earlier, it's like, universally speaking, the energy of fear of what it might look like to not have total control, not just of self, but of everything and everyone. Somebody that wanted to dominate the entire market, to have the drop on everything and everyone, to be making money on the front end and the back end. Like, back to that energy I said before, now it's a different spirit of corruption that I'm feeling, like somebody that has information, they're back to that insider trader information, and they willing to absorb as much from the market as they possibly can on the front end, but they'll do something crooked, like sell, I don't know the terms exactly, but they were going to sell it anyway. But they tried to get as much out of the front deal as they possibly could, and then clean up on the back end too. You know, it's like, that's the energy here, except for this time around and this age, that cycle is not running its course the same way that it has been before. Continuously, it's not going to fly anymore, because that's not forwarding any of us creatively. So universe is saying, like, okay, we're done with that. It's time for a more productive way forward at this point. So those that had their monies tied up in those types of stocks and bonds are feeling binded to those frequencies, and they're trying to make it work, but it's not going to work in that regard unless they're willing to invest in some new age way of life, where everybody has the opportunity to be prosperous. Nobody's trying to shortcut one or the other. Nobody's trying to step on someone else to get ahead. This energy is feeling bad for not really feeling remorseful, but there's a sense of regret here for what's been done, only because it's not yielded the return that's been anticipated, you know, that was counted on before. Like, you could count it sure as gold back in the day, you know, up until now. But now it's like new money, new energy coming into the market that's forcing everybody to play fairly, to share first and foremost, but in the energy that there is plenty to share. And that's the point here with this 9 of Wands, with this mental instability that it projects, is that people just have to let go of this mind state that there isn't enough for everyone. There was always enough, and there always will be enough, as long as you first are seeing yourself as enough, as does the King of Pentacles. He's not trying to trump nobody else's investments, because his portfolio speaks for itself. Two different energies here. And really, it just comes down to like what side of the spectrum you're on. That's the biggest question right now. Like where you stand. Because creation is going to be moving forward with or without you. So, you know, you get to make a choice now as to how you will be a co-creative participant in that evolution. Alrighty. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know. I'll just leave it there. I ain't even gonna say nothing. Happy Monday. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.